In a perfect world, we would all be happy, healthy, and successful. But stress, family, genetics, and life's little surprises take their toll on our brains, our bodies, and our psyche. And our quality of life suffers because we're not functioning at our best. Well, you can start by training your brain with the quantum mind method. This is not a game, and it's not a toy. It's developed by the world's only brainwave entrainment engineer, backed by over 40 years of research and development. It's 100% natural and couldn't be easier to use. With regular listening, your brain will naturally become stronger, more efficient, your most reliable ally, and all with almost no effort. You can achieve anything you want and get the most out of your life with the quantum mind method. The world is yours, so take it. Take it now.
Okay, and we'll put the link how you can check out the Mind Trainer Pro in the show description. So here's our video on ageless living lifestyle. Hello, I'm Rico Cavella, and I want to welcome you to our second episode of the Fearless Aging TV show, where in every episode, my guest and I, we strive to offer you proven tips and strategies that you can use immediately to help you on your path to living a much healthier, energetic, fulfilled, productive, joyful, long life, and so that you never have to be old. So we're here to inspire you to become your best self so you can go out and make a bigger difference, a bigger positive difference in the world. Now, in my first show, it was entitled How to Never Be Old. So I talked about there's a big difference between aging and being old, and why that you never have to be old. I proved to you that you never have to be old. And then I talked about what fearless aging really means, and what the Fearless Aging TV show is all about. So if you haven't seen that first show, you can go back and check it out. It's on our network, e360tv.com. And then you can search for Fearless Aging, or you can just scroll down and you'll find it on that page. And you'll learn a little bit more about me and why you should trust what I say, because I'm sincerely here to give you the right information so you can live a much healthier, energetic life, and so that you never have to be old. All right. So the topic for today is, I almost forgot again. Okay, last time I told you that if you stay till the end, I was going to give you a great gift where you could go and you could download 16 of my ebooks, and these are topics on all topics of health and wellness and longevity, how to permanently reduce your body fat, all about nutrition and fitness and sleep and longevity, and all kind of really good information and short training PDFs that can be a real difference in your life. So what you want to go to is go to my main website, agelesslivinglifestyle.com/free. And then you're able to download any of those ebooks and put them in your library. So that'll be a great a gift for you. Okay, so in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about what my ageless living lifestyle is all about. It's a complete mind, body, and spiritual wellness system. It's a proven strategies that I know that work, because I've been working with hundreds of clients for over 40 years. So with their success and with my personal success, so I know it works. Once again, I have to let you know my chronological age is 82, but my fitness energy age is 35. So I know it works for us, and I know that it'll work for you. So I'm going to give you we're going to go over the three main things that's imperative that you have to do or you have to master if you are going to live an ageless, fearless life and never be old. So, but first, let me give you a first tip. Also, I want to mention that another reason why you want to stay tuned, because throughout this short video, it's only about 24 minutes long, 25 minutes, I'm going to give you some tips of things that you can do immediately right now that take a very short time throughout your whole day, and it's going to really help you to stay energized both mentally and physically. It's going to keep your mood up, and it's just going to improve your overall health and well-being. So the first tip is breathe. You've got to get more oxygen into your body. Most of the time when we're just sitting around, our lungs are like this. We're just barely moving to the top, not filling up our lungs. So we want to fill up our lungs all the way up and really expand our lungs. So we're going to do 3 big belly breaths. So what you do is you relax your lower abdominal muscles and you breathe in through your nose and fill up your belly and then fill your lungs all the way up. And then when you exhale through your mouth slowly, you pull in your abdominal muscles and you push all that old stale air out. So here we go. Take a big breath. And at the same time as we're breathing, you're going to be lifting your spine up. You're going to create an expansion in your body. You know, gravity is always contracting us and pulling us forward and down. So throughout your day, you want to breathe, you want to open yourself up, and you want to expand your body. So fill up your belly, lift your spine up, fill up your lungs, lift your arms up, lift your spine up, and then slowly blow it out through your mouth. Contract your lower abdominal muscles, push the whole stale air out. Let's do 2 more. Big breath. And blow it out. Okay, 1 more. All right, we're ready to go now. Okay, so number 1 is your mindset. If you want to change your life, you have to change your mind. You know, science has now shown us that what manifests in our physical bodies begins in our mental, emotional state. So what you're believing and what you're thinking and what you're saying and the emotions that those things are creating and the feelings that you have is what dictates the actions that you're going to take or you do not take. And of course, the action that you take or don't take, that's what creates your reality. That creates the results that you're going to get. So how healthy you're going to be and how long you're going to live really depends on your mindset. It depends on the beliefs and the thoughts and the words and the feelings that you are creating in your life. So here's the thing. If you buy into the standard narrative that most people believe in, that's just the way it is, we're all going to get old and sick and maybe die at around 80, well, that's probably what you're going to create, because your beliefs create your reality. That's so important to understand. So if you don't believe that you can stay healthy and energetic all your life, then you're probably not going to be able to stay healthy and energetic all of your life. Remember Henry Ford's famous saying, whether you believe you can or you can't do something, you're right. So here's the thing about beliefs. You can believe whatever you want, right? You can also think what you want. You can say what you want. So it just makes sense to me that why believe anything but positive, the best things you can think about for your life? Why not believe that? Because again, if you believe that, then you give yourself the best opportunity to actually achieve it. So why have any limiting beliefs at all? It doesn't make any sense at all, does it? And so in my coaching program, this is with my individual clients, my private clients, this is what we start with. You've got to change your belief and your attitude about what's possible in your life. You know, being a personal trainer for all these years, I always wonder why so many people have such a problem with sticking with or even starting a healthy eating and exercise program when we know all the great benefits that it gives you. And what I really came up with, again, was people just don't really believe that either that it's not going to work for them, or they can't do it, or it's just not possible, or they have a disconnect between really, I think, their spiritual and their physical self. In other words, they're not connecting their physical life with their purpose that they're here for, to become their best self. And again, as we say, to make a positive difference in the world. So when you change your mindset about what your life's about and what's possible, then you'll be able to create a lifetime of good health and stay energetic and enjoy your life a lot more. So this is critical if you want to age fearlessly. So change your mind, change your life. Okay, number 2, you've got to design a wellness program. You know, we are all individual. We're all metabolically unique, and we have different body types. We have different lifestyle. We have different, we're born with different possibilities, different genes, and we all require different eating habits, and exercise habits, and all these things. So there's no one size that fits all. You know, what may be a healthy food for one person can actually kill another person. I have a friend, if he eats nuts, you have to take him to the emergency room or he might die. So it's so important to get educated, to learn what your particular body requires to function optimally. So that's why when you take a holistic approach to an individual, that's why you can get such really great results. And that's why I enjoy working with people one-on-one, because I get to know what they are, what their needs are, what their goals are, what their challenges are, and then we can develop a program that's really going to be fun for them. It's going to be safe, and it's going to actually get the results that they're looking for. So it's just so much fun and joy when you can transform somebody's life. So that's the key. You've got to get educated on what your particular body needs and requires to be healthy. So what I recommend, it's now known that coaching is the surest and fastest way to achieve your goals, and any goals in every aspect of your life. So I really recommend you get yourself a personal trainer, get yourself a health coach, a nutritionist, an naturopathic doctor that can develop the program that suits your needs and your goals, and they'll help you get you going on the right track so you can so you'll actually do it and you actually stick with it. And so I'll just mention this right now. If you're interested in my coaching programs, my online coaching programs, where I can reach anyone no matter where you live, we do it on Zoom. Go to agelessliving.lifestyle.com/coaching, and you can learn all about my coaching programs. All right. I think right now I'm going to take a short little break, and I'm going to play just about a 50-second little video that'll give you some really good information of where you can get some free information from me. It's coming up. Hello, I'm Rico Cavella, creator of the Ageless Living Lifestyle. If you are concerned about premature aging and you want to avoid disease and old age, and you want to live a more healthy, energetic, and vital long life, I have proven solutions for you. So number 1, go to agelessliving.lifestyle.com and take our aging quiz to see how well you are doing. And number 2, book your free coaching session with me to discuss your wellness challenges, and I promise to get you going on the right track. You can transform your health and your life, and I can help. Okay, we are back, and I do highly recommend you take our aging assessment. It's short, it's fun. And again, if you don't like the results, I like to tell people, then you just book a call with me. It's a free call just a friendly call, and we'll discuss what health challenges you're having, and I'll do my best to get you going on the right track. Okay, so tip number 2, you've got to stay hydrated throughout your day. So drink purified water throughout your day. So, there's so much information about there about how much water someone should drink. And everybody's so different, your body size, how much movement you do and exercise and all those things. So here's the thing, what I recommend is if you actually become thirsty, that means you actually are partially dehydrated. So try to keep yourself, don't allow yourself to become thirsty. Keep your water with you and just keep drinking every hour. Have some water, some purified water, and don't allow yourself to become thirsty, and then you'll stay hydrated throughout your day. Okay, so we're on to, let's see now, did I lose my place? Yeah, you got to create your own personalized wellness program. And so now we're talking about number 3. I told you 3. Number 1, you got to change your mindset. And number 2, you have to develop your own personalized program. And I don't think I finished all the things I wanted to talk to you about that. Okay, so here's the thing with your personalized wellness program. There's basic components. Let's talk about your exercise program. Everybody needs to do some form of aerobic activity every day to improve your cardiovascular strength. And you really need to do that every day, whether it's just go out for a walk or swim or ride your bike or do something that gets your heart rate up and gets you out moving. So it's so important to make sure you get some kind of aerobic activity and move your body every day on a regular basis. Now, the other thing that's important that you need to do on a regular basis every day is to work on your posture and your balance and how flexible you are, which is really a true measure of your age. How good is your posture? How well can you move, and how flexible are you? It's a true measure of your age. So once again, it doesn't really matter what your chronological age is, but if you have good posture and you're flexible and you can move well and you have good balance, you're as young as how flexible and how well you can move. Okay, so you need to do that. You need to develop a good stretching routine and a routine that works on your posture, and do that on a daily basis. Now, as far as toning up and strengthening your muscles, you can get by with maybe just 2 strength training workouts a week, or 2 or 3. Again, depends on what your goals are. Obviously, if you want to be a lot stronger and you want to do more physical things, and you want to ride your bike for 50 miles or climb mountains, then you got to get yourself in better shape. But if you're just satisfied with going for a walk and maybe playing with your kids or grandkids, then you don't have to do as much. So again, you always want to make your exercise program that suits your lifestyle. So again, that's why a good qualified personal trainer can help you with that, make sure that you're doing the right stuff. And then as far as nutrition goes, again, I'm going to give you a tip on this. Now, nutrition is a complex subject, and that could be a whole weekend workshop. But here's the thing. My very first book I wrote way back in, I think it was about 1995. It was called Real Food, Real Fast. It's how to make healthy fast food. And as a matter of fact, you can find a copy of that on my website as well. So the key is real. Eat real food. Now, real food is what's grown in nature. It's organic fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and some healthy grains and some healthy animal products that are raised naturally without any chemicals or hormones. So if you make your diet mostly out of real food, and real food is what, it doesn't come in a can or a package or a box. It doesn't have a label. It doesn't need it. It's already perfect the way the Creator intended it for us. So make your diet mostly out of real food, and you'll already be way ahead on your nutritional program. All right, so let's go on to number 3. Now, number 3, let me find it here. I lost my place. Number 3 is number 1 was you have to change your mindset. You have to believe that you can do it. Number 2, you have to get educated about what your body requires, and you got to develop your personalized program. And then number 3 is you have to commit to actually implement it on a regular basis. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to be a boot camp. You don't have to beat yourself up, all those kind of things. You just have to do things moderately. Again, all the things that are going to suit your particular lifestyle, but you got to do it on a regular basis. As I just mentioned, you have to, and then you'll get some good results. You'll get really great results. So I came up with, I know that everybody's busy. Everybody thinks they're too busy. A lot of people think they're too busy to exercise or to work out or to do a wellness program, or they don't know what they say they don't know what they should do, and they have all these excuses. So I know, since we have these busy lifestyles, you got to make it easy for people to do and easy to incorporate into your busy schedule. So what I did was I boiled the Ageless Living lifestyle down to learning how to master the 7 essentials of life. And these 7 essentials are, first is your thinking, your mindset. We talked about that already. You got to get more oxygen in your body. You've got to get more water in your body. You've got to get nutritious food in your body. You've got to remove the waste products on a regular basis. You've got to you got to do movement. You got to move your body on a regular basis, and you've got to get the sleep and the rest on a regular basis. Now, and so here's the thing, why it makes it so easy for you. You're already doing all these things just to stay alive, right? Just to stay alive. You're already doing those things, but you were never taught how to master them. So that's what the Ageless Living lifestyle is all about, learning how to master all those 7 essentials of life. And when you do, you just can't imagine how much better you're going to feel, how you're going to look, and how much stronger of an immune system you're going to have, and how much more productive and how much longer I'm sure you're going to live. So I'm going to give you a few tips here for staying committed. The first thing is you got to have clear-cut goals. In other words, in order to really achieve a goal of any type, you have to tie it to what's truly important in your life. So I have a system of asking people when they say what their goal is. You ask them why, and whatever answer they give, you say, well, why do you want that? So you have to. That's what I do with my clients. So in other words, whatever your goal is, you've got to tie it to what's truly important. And for most people, when they drill down, it's usually has something to do with their family. So they'll be a good example for their children, or so they'll be healthy and be around so they can take care of their family, or so they can enjoy their kids and their grandkids. So always, and we'll work on that maybe in some other episodes of how to really set goals that you can actually achieve. And then the next thing is you want to keep the big picture in mind. Maybe you don't really enjoy so much, exercise or doing some things that you need to do, or doing the breathing exercises or whatever it is, but you got to keep in mind what the alternative is. If you don't do this, you're probably going to end up like most people, becoming old and sick and dying too young, and you don't want that, right? You want to stay healthy and live as long as you possibly can. So you got to keep the big picture in your mind. And the next thing is, if you can get a family member or a friend to do the program with you, this is really helpful. And of course, it's a lot more fun. And you'll actually, put more effort when you're doing it with somebody else. And of course, if you have your trainer, that's even better as well. And then also you want to record your progress. And also another important thing is that when you see some progress, reward yourself. Set some milestones and reward yourself. And that'll also really, really help to keep you motivated. All right. Now, I want to give you one more big tip, and we're just about ready to wrap up this episode here. So this big tip is You probably heard the saying that smoking is the new, not smoking, sitting is the new smoking. So now we know that sitting around for so much is just as bad as smoking cigarettes. That's pretty bad, as we know. So here's the thing, what I recommend to my clients: do not sit for more than 30, maybe 45 minutes without getting up and do some movement. Even if you just walk around a little bit or do some stretching, do some breathing, just move your body. Because what we found, so before we thought sitting was just, it was bad because it just gave you bad posture and maybe sick, you got stiff. But now they know, medically, they've determined that it causes your blood to pool in your legs. It puts stress on your heart. It's a precursor to all kind of different health problems. So it's so important to do not sit too long. Get up and move as much as you possibly can throughout your day. All right. Okay. So that's it for this episode. If you like what you heard today, tune in every Wednesday at this time, 6 p.m. On Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time, or you can always check it out on the E360 TV network or on your favorite streaming show. You can watch it on your TV. So now in our next show, my guest is going to be Dr. Tess Mauricio. She is one of the world's leading cosmetic dermatologists, and we're going to talk about how you can look and feel your best for life. So my message always is, you can live a healthy, long life and never be old if you take the action to work on what you learn on every day. Okay, it's time to get up and go do some movement. I'll see you next week. Be joyful, be well, and never be old. Okay, we are back. So you got a pretty good idea now what the ageless living lifestyle all about and all the benefits to you. And so now we're going to break it down into the three main components of actually give you some actual training, how you can get the training you need to make sure that you're going to get the optimal results. So first it's going to be about to train your brain, then how to eat healthy, and then how to exercise in the right way, in a proper way. So let's talk about how to train your brain.
It's
Hello,
recording now.
welcome to this episode of Fearless Aging. And the title of this segment is How to Easily Dissolve the Mental and Emotional Blocks That Hold You Back from Success. And I think that we all need some of this, so this is going to be a really interesting segment. And our expert guest is my friend Maury Zelkovich. He's a brainwave entrainment expert. He's the creator of the Mind Trainer Pro system, and he is dedicated to helping others improve their life naturally without drugs with his Mind Trainer Pro system. So Maury Zelkovich, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Rico. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always good to see you, Maury. Okay, so we got a lot to unpack here. This is so much stuff, interesting things that you're doing. So off your website, it says that you have science-backed brainwave entrainment that only takes a few minutes a day, and that your Mind Trainer Pro, it helps you unlock peak mental performance, reduce stress, boost productivity, and it's using proven neuroscience and proprietary audio-visual technology. So again, there's a lot to go through with this. So how about we start with exactly what is brain entrainment?
So everyone who's listened to music that they like and they tap their feet kind of mindlessly, or they bop their head back and forth mindlessly, that's a form of entrainment. So basically what it is we're getting your neurons, your brain cells, to act and react in sync with tones, basically ba 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 kind of beats, so that we can dictate the kind of chemistry that they release. It turns out it's your brain's chemistry that allows you to feel things. If you're happy, if you're sad, if you're in love, if you hate, if you're scared, whatever, all these things are the result, your experience of them, let me rephrase that, is the result of neural chemistry that your brain creates. by using these tones and properly engineered entrainment, we can create states that give us beneficial results as opposed to the ones that might make us afraid or scared or, unhappy, for instance.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know how music affects us. No question about it. Can make you feel good or
Yeah.
happy. But how was it developed? I mean, how did they determine, what different beats and sounds could actually affect different emotions?
Well, it all started probably with prehistoric humans banging against a rock or a
Yeah,
log.
yeah.
But the science of the mind, the science of the brain, psychology, neurology, these kinds of things, upon studying different effects of different stimulation and sound, vibrational energy, that kind of thing, was one of the things they just naturally studied because they saw that it had outward effects without having to do a clinical study. You can, like you said, with music, certain
Hmm.
music makes some people happy, other people it upsets, other people it excites, other people it puts them to sleep.
Hmm.
So the question is why? And the answer is the neurological effect and the psychoactive effect of the tones, the music, the beat pattern on the psychology, on the neurology of the brain. So to get rid of all the sciencey talk, basically how it affects the muscle that is your mind. That's really what it does. It helps to have a positive beneficial effect on the brain, takes advantage of natural processes which occur when we hear sounds, when we see things. And we just take that to the next logical step to help people to feel better, to be smarter, faster, stronger, that kind of thing.
But still, it's still a little bit difficult to understand because I mean the mind is separate from the brain. I can see
Yeah.
how different tones can stimulate certain brain waves and maybe alter the brain waves, but the mind is it's where our emotions really come from, right? I mean, what we're thinking and feeling.
Well, as far as we know, we don't really know that much about the mind and the brain. The
Yeah.
mind is like the energy, if you will, the esoteric part. The brain is the physical structure.
Hmm.
They are separate, but they're also very much in sync. At least while we're human beings on this planet, they're in sync. So, like I said, our thoughts create brainwave patterns.
Hmm.
That's one way to create brainwave pattern. It's a form of stimulation. Our thoughts are inspired by what we see, what we feel, what we smell, what we touch. All these different things inspire our thoughts. Our thoughts then create brainwave activity, and that brainwave activity creates chemistry, and that chemistry creates your ability to have an experience.
Hmm.
So someone could slap you in the face, and if your brain didn't tell you you were slapped in the face, you wouldn't know.
Hmm.
You wouldn't feel anything. You wouldn't know your head flew off to the side and came back. None of these things would be known. So, whereas the mind is something that you can look at as separate from the brain,
Yeah.
from a functional aspect, they're very much attached to each other.
Yeah. Well, I guess because the mind's not a physical entity, but the mind is definitely affects the brain, right?
Well, sure. Like I said, the stimulation. If you walk into a room and you have a husband or a wife or a child or a cat or a dog or a goldfish, and one of these things you feel warm and fuzzy about, there's a reason why you feel warm and fuzzy. And
Hmm.
that's because of how your mind is perceiving the stimulus of your dog jumping up on you, your wife giving you a hug, or your husband giving you a hug or a kiss or whatever. So
Hmm.
all of these different stimulation patterns create a feeling inside of us. You can get like three people in an airplane and they're all going to jump out and parachute. And one person's really excited to get to altitude so they can jump. Another person decided, you know what, I'm not going to go on this plane.
Yeah.
Right. And another
Yeah.
person says, I don't really care either way. Well, it's
Yeah.
the same stimulation, but three different reactions. So
Yeah.
that's where the mind comes in.
Yeah.
The
Well, let me
brain, in
ask.
all cases, knows that you're going to jump. The mind is what stops you from jumping, makes you excited or bored or indifferent.
Right. Well, let me ask you. I mean, there are a lot of different, mind programs out there and all this, different sound programs.
Mhm.
So, what kind of makes yours different? And I know you have a lots of different programs for all different things that you can help people with. So how did you go about determining like okay, this sound's going to help you to reduce stress or reduce anxiety or make you be able to have more confidence or how did you go about determining that?
So there's actually a ton of evidence. There's a ton of actual scientific studies done, not just on brainwave entrainment, but sound in general, visual stimulation, how it affects the brain neurologically, how it affects its psychologically. So there's a lot of information out there, but you can also experiment. I mean, it's not hard to put a pair of headphones on somebody and observe them. Observe yourself first and then observe others. And when you find something that's kind of common to the two, now you have something you can thread in or sew into a recording that, you can, I mean, assuming is not really a good thing, but, science is about learning. It's not about knowing. Most of what we know today in 15 years, 20 years, we'll think differently. So what did we know? We didn't know anything. We had an understanding. 100 years ago, we had a bunch of supposed truths that turned out to not be true.
Right.
That's because we have better detection equipment now. We have better telescopes, better microscopes, better understanding. Well, everything we think we know now, it's probably the same as it was 100 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. We think we know what we're talking about, but we really don't. And as we learn more and as we learn how to measure more and interpret better, we'll come up with different ideas and different concepts. So in my view, there's no such thing as truth or fact. There's just understanding.
Yeah. Well, what I find really interesting is what you've done is, like I say, most of the issues that we are mentally dealing with, like you say, anxiety or lack of confidence or all these different things, that you develop a different program for each one of those. So I highly encourage people to go to your website, mindtrainerpro.com, and we'll put all these links in the chat. In the show description, so you can go and check that out. But also, I know you have a great gift for our audience. It's called the Quantum Mind Method. It's about alpha flight audio. Talk a little bit about what this free gift can offer people.
Sure. So the alpha flight recording was originally created for Dr. Doris Helge, who part of her clientele is high-powered executives who travel a lot. And they needed something to help them with jet lag and things like that. So it's about a 15-minute recording. There's no spoken word aspect. You put on an ordinary pair of stereo headphones. You close your eyes, you lean back with head support, or you lie back in a bed or on a couch, and you just hit play. It doesn't matter if you fall asleep, if you're awake, if you pay attention, if you think things, makes no difference at all. You're going to hear shh, you're going to hear ba, 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 and these will combine to have that kind of effect on your brain that releases the kind of chemistry that helps you to relax and unwind and, just be more in the moment. Yeah, it's really quite simple to do.
Yeah, it is. It is really easy. I've been listening to him, and I find it kind of relaxing. I find it quite really relaxing. Yeah, that's so good. I guess my last question is, I'm sure you must. I forgot to, but you probably have a program too to actually get people to take action, because I always like to end all my shows by saying, we offer you some great information and wisdom, but knowledge without action is useless. So what can you say that you have a program that can help people to actually take action on what they're learning and what they want to achieve?
The interesting thing is most of my systems have that kind of recording incorporated, but there is another link. I don't know if you're going to put that in the show notes.
Sure, we can
as well. But it's for the same program, Quantum Mind Method. It leads up to that. But this particular sample is called Digital Coffee. And a lot of people who use it find a lot of energy afterwards, and they find themselves doing things that they've been putting off for a long time. So between Alpha Flight and Digital Coffee, you've got a nice little first aid kit at no cost to you, by the way.
Yeah, that's perfect, because again, that's the thing. It was Einstein who said that famous saying, knowledge without action is useless. So we got to get people to actually step up and take action on what you learned. So, well, Maury, I really appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your work. You're doing some great things that can really help people out a lot. So I just highly encourage our audience to go and take advantage of these free gifts and to learn more about all the things that you're offering. So that's it. You just got to step up and take action, right?
That's it. Action without, like knowledge without action, just like Einstein said, is totally useless.
Yeah, or it's
I
just
could invent the perfect system for you. If you don't use it, it's not going to help you.
or it's just entertainment, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well,
true.
so thank you, Maury. Thank you much for being here, and thanks to our audience for being here.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Rico, for having me.
All right, we are back. And so I have I'm going to play our next segment all about nutrition, how to make, and it's all about also how to make healthy fast food. So here. Hello, this is Rico Cavella, and this is your Fearless Aging TV show and podcast, where my guests and I, we do our best. We strive to offer you proven tips and strategies that you can implement immediately to greatly improve your overall health and well-being. So we're here to inspire you and empower you to become your best self so you can go out and make a bigger positive difference in the world. Now, today, the guest is myself. It's just going to be me. And I'm going to be talking about a very important topic that we're all definitely highly invested in. It's food and nutrition. And so the title, Real Food, Real Fast, that came from my first book and best-selling book. I don't know why it's blurred. You can't really see it. It's called Real Food, Real Fast. And basically, it was all about how to make healthy fast food. Because way back then, when I was really a busy personal trainer and working with lots of different clients, I know I was so busy and rushing around, I wasn't eating as healthy as I wanted to do. To do. And so I figured out, I mean, we all like fast food because it's fast, but not because it's healthy. And unfortunately, that's one of the biggest problems why we have so much chronic illnesses and obesity and people are getting old and sick is because of poor nutrition and eating all these fast, highly processed junk foods, which you just got to get out of your diet. But because we live in this fast, rush-paced society, we do need to have some fast food, but you can make healthy fast food. So in this book, I show you how to get prepared and how to buy the best foods. What are the best foods for you? And there's a lot of different ways to figure that out. And then how to actually get organized in your kitchen and have a prep party, what I call a prep party. So then during the week, you can prepare really fast, healthy meals. And so you can do that. So if you're interested in that book, you can get a copy of it on my main website, agelesslivingLifestyle.com/products. And you can either get a hard copy or you can get a really inexpensive e-copy of that book as well. And we'll talk about some of those things in the book in this episode. So I want to start with kind of an interesting story. I hope many of you know who Jack LaLanne was. Jack LaLanne was really probably the first fitness guru way back, I think, in the 50s. And first guy on TV to show you how to do some exercises and all the important of it. And he was really kind of an amazing person. He's been an icon. He lived to be about 95, and he was still going pretty strong. And so I got to know Jack once in a while. There was a company here in San Diego called Fitness Age, and they were developing some computer programs to determine what your fitness age was. And they hired Jack to be their spokesperson, and they hired me to be their personal trainer for their staff. So I got to meet Jack at a few of their events. And so we had some debates, and we had this debate over, he had this famous saying that exercise is king and nutrition is queen. And in those days, that's a little politically incorrect today, but in those days that meant, the king was the most important and then over the queen. And so I used to argue with him and say, no, Jack, you got it backwards. Nutrition is the king, is most important, and exercise is second. So we couldn't agree on that. But I know I'm right, because if you exercise a lot every day, you can be pretty in good shape and fairly healthy. But if you don't get good nutrition, your health is going to go down pretty quickly, and you're not going to do very well. But on the other hand, if you have good nutrition, and you're eating a lot of good healthy food, you're going to be pretty healthy, and you're probably going to live pretty long. And if you don't exercise, you're not going to your body's not going to look too good. You're not going to be too strong, and you're not going to be really fit, but at least you'll be healthier because of the good nutrition. Anyway, I thought that's kind of an interesting story. So anyway, I think this thing is it's more important to create healthy eating habits than exercise habits, but of course we want you to do both. Now, nutrition is a very complex subject. I mean, we could spend at least a minimum of a whole weekend just going over all the different facets of nutrition. But here's the basic thing is we're all biochemically unique. And what can be a really good food for one person can almost kill another person. I have a friend that if he eats any nuts, you got to rush him to the emergency room because he could almost die. So it's so important to really learn what foods really are best for you and work well for you. And there's a number of ways to do that. I'm going to show you one way that you can do that at home yourself, which is pretty accurate and can be really helpful. But I highly recommend, really, because nutrition is so important, is to get some help. Get a hold of a coach like myself, or a qualified nutritionist, or a naturopathic doctor who can evaluate you and help you to determine what foods are best for you. And of course, these days there's a lot of tests that you can take to determine what foods may be causing you problems and what foods are going to be really good for you. So we're going to go through some basic guidelines that really that apply to everybody. And if you begin to apply these basic food and nutritional guidelines, it's going to be really helpful, and it can solve a lot of your health problems that you're having right now. So we're going to go through, as I mentioned, why we eat, what to eat, how to eat, when to eat, all these important things. So why we eat, this is so important. The reason that you have to keep this in mind, why we eat, it's for energy. We actually, our bodies are heat producing machines, energy producing machines. And I hope you know too that quantum physics and science has proven that everything in the universe is all about energy. So it's all about energy. So how much energy you have is how healthy you're going to be, how long you're going to live, and how successful you can be in your life. So the main reason that we eat is to get energy. And our body requires up to 100 nutrients per day to function optimally. So you have to ask yourself, am I eating food that's going to energize me, or am I eating food that's going to deplete my energy? And we'll get into that just in a minute. So also studies have shown that up to over 99% of Americans are deficient in at least one vital nutrient, and you're really not getting the nutrition that you really need, especially if you are eating primarily highly processed fats, junk foods on a regular basis. So this is about experiencing what I call the real food zone. So, well, one more reason before we get into what to eat is why, again, why we eat. Now, again, it's not only for energy. Of course, it's for enjoyment as well. We're such creative human beings. We can create amazing foods and recipes and things, and that's good. That's good to enjoy them, and that's fine as long as you're basically eating really a diet of really good, healthy foods, which we're going to talk about next, that are going to energize you and give you the nutrition you need and give you the energy you need. But again, you also want to enjoy your food as well. Okay, so the next section is then what to eat, and this really comes down to the key. And so as my title of my book, the key word there is real food. And how I define real food is that real food, it's what's grown in nature by Mother Nature. It's organic, whole foods, fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and some whole grains and some animal products that are raised naturally, you know, out in the pasture and not any fed any hormones and grains and all those kind of things. So there are some healthy animal products, and they certainly have their value as well. Okay, so it makes it really kind of simple if you think about it. People always wonder, what should I eat? Okay, so real food doesn't come with a label, so you don't have to worry about reading the label if it's got a bunch of junk and chemicals and preservatives and all the kind of things you don't want to put in your body. Mother Nature's food is already packaged perfectly the way it is. So I highly recommend that you realize that if you just make your diet at least 80 to 80% of real food, you're going to be way ahead of most people, and you're going to get some good nutrition as well. So you got to get rid of the highly processed junk foods. So I have a question for you. Have you ever felt tired after you had a meal, or maybe a little sluggish, a little slowed down? Well, there's two reasons for that. Either you overate, you ate too much, and what happens when you eat too much, all the blood has to run into your stomach to start the digestive process, and so it drains your energy for everything else. Or most likely, the food that you ate was so depleted in nutrients that you actually go on a negative for creating energy. See, it takes a certain amount of energy to digest and absorb and utilize the food that you ate and get the nutrients out and into your body, and then eliminate the waste products. That takes a fair amount of energy itself. So if you're eating highly processed junk foods, they're so low in actual nutrition that you can actually be depleting your energy instead of gaining energy. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that kind of resonates with you. So what you want to do, you want to look at the food you're going to eat before you eat it and say, is this food alive? Is this real food? Is this going to energize me? Or is it probably going to slow me down and maybe take away my energy? So that's a question to always ask yourself. So if you go into the supermarket, most of the real foods are around the perimeter, the fruits, the vegetables, some of the healthy animal products, and then all the things that comes in packages and cans and boxes and all these things on sale and all these things in the aisles. Those are primarily things that, not that there's not some fairly decent packaged food. We do have some fairly decent packaged foods these days, and some organics, some whole foods, and some natural foods. But again, primarily it should be organic whole foods that don't come in a package. Okay, that doesn't have a label on it. So that makes it really simple. But once again, as I said earlier, you have to also get educated to learn what are the foods that are best for you as an individual. Because once again, what might be a health food for somebody else can almost kill somebody else. So it's really important to know what foods may work for you. Another real important tip on foods is eat a high variety of foods. You see, all different foods, especially fruits and vegetables, there's such a big variety, and they all have different nutrient contents. So if you're just eating a few of the same thing, which we all fall into, I do that myself sometimes. I catch myself just eating the same foods over and over again. And so you really want to stretch yourself out and be a little creative and inventive and try new things and look for different type of foods, especially like, say, fruits and vegetables. There's such a variety, and there's so many good things, and they all have different qualities. So the more variety you can get in your diet, the more likely you're getting a balance of nutrients that you need. Another tip on food is foods that have the most color are usually the most nutrient dense. So the real vibrant colors are really the most nutrient dense foods. So again, when you look at your plate, it's not only is it aesthetically pleasing to have lots of different colors, maybe purple or red and green or yellow or orange. Try and get as much color as you can on your plate. And usually things that are white are usually not so nutritious, like white bread. even white potatoes, white rice, those are lesser on the scale of being nutritious. So try and go for most of foods that are really high in color. And one thing I want to really mention about what you need to avoid, in addition to just highly processed foods that come in a package and all the food at these fast food restaurants, is because what's become so popular is energy drinks, so-called energy drinks. And I have to tell you, these things are not giving you energy. They're just stimulants like caffeine and sugar and some herbs that do stimulate you. And that's not giving you energy. That's just artificially stimulating your body. And what that does, it jacks you up for a little while and then it lets you down. And that's not a healthy process that's going to do well for your body long term. So drinking energy drinks is really depleting your energy. It begins to put stress on your adrenal glands and wears them out. And you're going to have long-term fatigue. Unfortunately, it's just another thing, just like all these things that we that that are promoted so highly, all this fast junk food and in the past, cigarette smoking and all these things that unfortunately the manufacturers are just out to push on you. They are actually depleting your health, and it's really false advertising. So you get rid of those energy drinks. You don't need them whatsoever. Remember, the most energizing drink is water, and there's many ways to increase your water. You put a little lemon in it, or any kind of maybe some essential oils in it, or a little bit of fruit. In fact, it makes it more absorbable when you actually put some lemon or some lime or some orange or whatever you want to add to or some berries, add to your water. It actually makes it more easy for your body to absorb it, so you'll get better sorbet. I like to put some trace minerals. You can get little bottles of trace minerals and put some drops into your water, and not only are you getting the trace minerals that you need, but you're also making your water more absorbable. And also, don't forget to stay hydrated throughout your day. Make sure you can drink. You get plenty to drink. Again, what I like to say about hydration is everybody's different. How much water you should drink and how much exercise you're doing. So just keep drinking throughout your day. Keep some water, some purified water with you, and throughout your day, every hour at least, have a cup or a cup of water, and that way you probably will never get dehydrated. If you actually get thirsty, you're already on the way to you're already a little bit dehydrated. So just keep drinking. So what else is important about what to eat? Now, one thing I do want to say as well, I don't believe in being, extreme or fanatic. That don't mean you can never enjoy something you really love. If you really love chocolate cake, well, once in a while, have some chocolate cake. Or, I really like berry pies, or I don't know. There's whatever, or maybe some ice cream once in a while. But don't make a habit of it. But don't be extreme and say I can never eat that. It's always about balance. Everything in the universe is based on to function optimally. You want to be in balance. Always keep a good balance in mind. Okay, now we're going to get to the next part, is how to eat, and this is just as important. So here's what I'm going to talk just a little bit about. My book, Real Food Real Fast, is how you can actually prepare healthy meals. But first of all, make sure that you have to realize, here's the first thing, you have to realize that if you want to eat healthy, you have to pretty much make most of all your own food. You can't depend on going out to restaurants. These days there are some organic and some healthier restaurants, but still, for the most restaurants you go out to, you're not getting organic food. You don't know what they're putting in it. You don't really know what you're getting. So most of your meals you got to prepare yourself. So you got to learn how to do it. And it's not that difficult. You just got to get organized. You got to get the right utensils in your kitchen. It's really important to have some good sharp knives. It's really important to have some good cookware. One that I recommend is called Chef's Foundry. They have some really good ceramic coating that really lasts and really works. Most of those cheaper nonstick pans just don't last. They get scratched up. So get yourself some quality cookware, some quality instruments, knives. You need a steamer so you can steam foods. And I use an infrared cooker quite a bit in addition to a regular oven. And so, again, you just have to, first you got to go and make sure you know where to shop to where you can get the food that you want. So that's another tip. We're all the same. If there's food, if we're hungry and the food we find in our refrigerator is not the best food, but we're still going to eat it, right? So you got to have the food in your house that you want to eat. I actually work with some clients. I actually go to their house and we'll just clean out their cupboard and their kitchens and get rid of all this stuff and show them why it's not, why they should not be eating. And I actually take people on to a market and show them how to buy the best quality foods at the best price. So that's an important thing that can help you as well. Okay, and so you got to plan a menu, a basic menu. You know, what kind of salads are you going to have? What kind of soups are you going to make? What kind of vegetables are you going to steam? If you're going to eat, you know, some fish or chicken or even beef, you know, you got to get it prepared ahead of time, and then you can make really quick things. And also in my book, I have some of my favorite recipes, and all those recipes you can make them in 15 minutes or less. So that's just, it's real feasible, and you can do it. And again, that doesn't mean you have to do it all the time, but of course, when you have more time or you have friends over on the weekend, you want to take time to prepare a really nice, you know, mini course dinner and take your time to prepare a lot of good food and put a lot of love into it. Now, before we go on to what, I want to give you my, well, let's finish up how to eat, and then we'll go into when to eat, and then I've got an important message for you here. So I want to tell you about what I came up with. This is E period A period T period eat, eating awareness techniques. So this is just as important on how to eat, not only how to prepare your food, but how to eat. And the number one point of how to eat is when you eat, just eat. And what that means, don't be distracted. Don't be looking at TV. Don't be having a conversation, a serious conversation where it might be stressing you out. Don't get distracted. Take time out. Eating should be a time of relaxation, rejuvenation, and just enjoy your food. Really focus on your food, and actually tell your body that this food, you know, be thankful that you have this food, and tell your body that this food is going to be really energizing and nutritious for your body, and it will. Your body listen to what your cells, your body's listening to what you say. You're in command of your ship. So tell your body, this is going to be great. This is going to be really good, healthy food for us. That's number one. Number two, it's to slow down and chew. This is the one that I always got to be telling myself. I have a tendency to eat too fast. So many things. When you eat too fast, first of all, you're not chewing your food well, and you're not getting actually, when you eat carbohydrates, a lot of it, the digestion starts with the saliva in your mouth. So you got to really chew them up good. Fruits and vegetables and grains, got to chew them really good. Now, when you eat protein food, you just chew it so you can swallow it, because it has to stay in your stomach for a while and get digested in an acid medium, where carbohydrates are digested more in your small intestine in an alkaline medium. So slow down, chew your food well, and that way you really enjoy the flavor. And the other bonus of that is, when you eat slowly, your body, there's a thing called the apostat at the base of our brain that lets us know when we're full. And if you eat too fast, you can eat so many calories before your brain actually signals to you that you're full. So that's one reason people overeat, because they're eating too fast. So if you slow down, you'll eat less and you'll get better absorption of the nutrients that you eat. And then number three, it's to stop before you're totally full. Get up from the table. Remember, you're supposed to feel energized, not slowed down from when you eat. All right, I got a quick little message for you here. Hello, I'm Rico Cavella, creator of the Ageless Living Lifestyle. If you are concerned about premature aging and you want to avoid disease and old age, and you want to live a more healthy, energetic, and vital long life, I have proven solutions for you. So number one, go to agelesslivinglifestyle.com and take our aging quiz to see how well you are doing. And number 2, book your free coaching session with me to discuss your wellness challenges, and I promise to get you going on the right track. You can transform your health and your life, and I can help. All right, I definitely encourage you to go to agelesslivinglifestyle.com and take our aging assessment and book a call with me. Just a friendly conversation. I'll do my best to see what challenges you're having and get you going on the right track. So we're running a little over here. We just got about a minute left. So I'll have to come back another time and tell you more about when to eat. But the main thing is don't eat at least 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed at night, because your body shifts from catabolic to anabolic metabolism, and you need to rejuvenate yourself in the evening. So make sure you're not eating late at night. That's the best tip I can give you. And so it's time to shut it down here. I want to let you know that I do have online wellness coaching programs. Also, you can check those out at agelesslivinglifestyle.com/coaching. And if you like today's episode, tune in every Wednesday at 6 o'clock and on e360tv.com, and tell your friends about the Fearless Aging TV show. And our next show is going to be with Dr. Tess Mauricio. She's a cosmetic dermatologist, one of the world famous dermatologists. And we're going to talk about how to look and feel your best for life. So the message always is you can live a much healthier, energetic, joyful, long life if you take action on what you learn. So take action. All right. Thanks for being here. Be joyful and be well. Okay, we are back. So we have one more segment to go through, and that's the exercise. We talked about how to train your brain. We talked about good nutrition, how you can get nutrition and some eating awareness techniques that makes a really big difference. And now we're going to have, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the basics of exercise, of movement, and then I have a short little video to show you as well. So I'm sure you're aware by now, there's no lack of studies and people talking about the many benefits of exercise. Not only how it helps you to look better, to trim your body down, keep off those excess body fat, build some muscle so you look good, so you have a much more sex appeal, and it makes you feel so much better. You have more energy, you sleep better, your brain works better. We could go on and on about all the benefits of regular, consistent, proper exercise. And so, we always wonder why, since everybody knows the many benefits, why aren't most people exercising on a regular basis? And we still know now that it's still a small percentage of people in America that are exercising on a regular basis. So why is that? Well, the biggest excuse is I don't have time. And, I understand if you have a business or a job and you have children, you are pretty busy and it's a little tougher, but you can still do it. I promise you, everybody has the same 24 hours a day. And I promise you that some of the busiest, most successful people take time to exercise because they know that it helps them to be more effective, to have more energy, to be more successful. And I know this is true because I've had the good fortune to work with a lot of really busy, successful CEOs, and I know that they take the time because they tell me that they know that it makes them feel better and they have more energy and they actually are more productive. So really not having time is not an excuse. But what I came up with on that same line, because most people still feel that way, is I developed a complete full body workout that you can do. You can do it at home. You can do it anywhere you're out in the park. It doesn't require any equipment. It's just using your own body weight. It's called the Fast Fit 17 system, and it only takes 17 minutes to do it. In other words, you can go through and work all your major muscle groups and get a good workout in just 17 minutes. And I'll show you, we'll have a little video about that as well. And it's very inexpensive as well. As a matter of fact, we're still selling it for only $17. So, the most important thing about exercise is to realize that you need to develop an exercise program that suits your particular lifestyle and your goals. If you're plenty happy just to be fit enough to play golf or maybe play with some grandkids or simple basic things, be able to get through your work day, that's fine. Or if you want to be more, if you want to be out and climbing large mountains and swimming across rivers and lakes and all those sort of things, then you got to train a little bit harder. So you want to develop a program that just is enough to suit your particular lifestyle and what you want to accomplish. And it requires, as we talked about, some strength training. You need to do some strength training to keep your muscles strong and toned, at least 2 times per week or 2 to 3 times per week. You need to do some aerobic activity to strengthen your heart and your lungs. I recommend you do something every day. You need to move your body every day where you get your heart rate up, you get a little sweat going and you're breathing. Now, whether it's power walking or running, if you like to run, or riding a bike or swimming or dancing, whatever it is, try and find some time to do that every day. And you can vary it. One day you can do a little bit of harder, longer workout, and the next day maybe you just have 15 minutes. You can go out for a power walk. So do some kind of aerobic activity every day. Then you also, the next thing is the flexibility. That's the hardest one I have to get my clients to do, but it's so important. A true measure of your age is how good is your posture and how flexible are you? How well can you move? So you got to stretch every day. And again, I train my clients, show them, I have a 15-minute video that shows you how to do some basic 7 stretches. You just get down on the floor before you go to bed at night, take 15 minutes, and not only will it keep you flexible all your life, but it'll help you to relax and sleep better as well. And so these are simple things that you can do. It's a simple exercise program of just getting some aerobic activity, doing a little bit of strength training, and doing some stretching in the proper way. So you can do it. And so I want to show you this, a little bit of a short little video about my Fast Fit 17 exercise program.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jess Mauricio, America's favorite dermatologist and founder of M Beauty Clinics in Beverly Hills and San Diego. Rico has been our family's personal trainer for the last 12 years, and recently he introduced us to his Fast Fit 17 training program system, and we really like it. As a busy physician and a mom, it's really hard for me to find time to exercise, but now I feel like I can get a really good workout in just 17 minutes with his Fast Fit 17 system. And I feel like I'm stronger than ever before. So I highly recommend you try it, and I know that you'll find that it'll help you get the results you want.
Now, in just 17 minutes, you can get and stay fit and look and feel your best for life. This will be a life-changing and life-saving experience for you. Yes, it's true. Scientific studies have shown the Fast Fit 17 system is the fastest way to achieve maximum results in the shortest amount of time. This is a true fitness breakthrough. This system was developed particularly for busy people over 40 who know they need and want to get into better shape and have more energy, but feel they don't have the time. Now, time is no longer an issue. We want everyone to take advantage of this fitness breakthrough. So, for a limited time, you can get the entire program for only $17. So don't miss out. Order now at fastfit17.com.
Okay, so now you don't have any excuse that you don't have time. You can do this workout in just 17 minutes, and it's only on still I priced at only $17. So we just have a few minutes left. So again, I want to let you know that I developed a new coaching program, a 21-day coaching program, and I have in mind that if you are concerned about your parent, any one of your parents, how they're aging and not doing too well, and you know that they need to get in better shape, and but they just haven't taken that step or haven't done it. Maybe they think they don't know what to do, or it's too much trouble, or they don't have time, and all these things. So again, I developed this program. It's at ageleslivinglifestyle.com/real-results. And I'll put that link in the chat. And it's very inexpensive. It's very easy to do. I work with the clients for 21 days, and we develop their personal ageless living lifestyle wellness system, so a lifetime system, and we really simplified it. It's easy to do, easy to understand, and easy to incorporate into their busy schedule. So I highly recommend that they make a great gift for a parent, or it's a great gift for yourself, so you can get 2026 going in the right direction. Again, I just want to emphasize that no matter what's important to you in your life, what you want to accomplish, what you want to be successful at, it takes a lot of energy and good health. So the fitter you become, both mentally and physically, the more success, more energy you're going to have, the more success you can have. And so you can be more successful, you can enjoy your life more. And that's what the ageless living lifestyle is all about. We need more people to live longer and stay healthy, especially as we age, because we gain knowledge and wisdom, right? And so I want to help people as they age to stay healthier and live longer, so you can give back that knowledge and wisdom that you have to help solve these monumental challenges that we are facing now as humanity on planet Earth. And also, we need many more mentors and role models for younger people. We've just got this youth culture, and older people have just gotten pushed aside. So we need to change that around. We need to respect our elders, and our elders need to be able to stay healthier, so they can give back their knowledge and their wisdom so we can create a more peaceful and prosperous planet for everybody and for all of humanity. So that's the goal. That's the goal. That should be everybody's goal. That's the goal of fearless aging. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this special. I want to wish you a very healthy and happy Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year. And again, as Einstein says, knowledge without wisdom is useless. So you got to take all the things that you learned today and actually begin to implement it, and it will transform your life, and you'll be really glad you did. So thanks for being here, and tell your friends about the Fearless Aging TV show. Thanks very much. Be well.